Maca Royal Clock Tower, the world's largest clock and gold-plated crescent. When the construction of the Maca Royal Clock Tower was underway, the Saudi king wished for the tower's top to be adorned with a glass facade that would look like a giant diamond from a distance. Above this diamond would be the world's largest crescent, plated with 24-karat gold. Only one company in the world had the capability to execute such a project: Germany's renowned Riva GmbH. However, the biggest challenge wasn't just constructing the diamond-like facade or gold-plating the crescent. It was the fact that the engineers and the owner of Riva were non-Muslims. And as everyone knows, only Muslims are allowed to enter Makkah. So how was this issue resolved? How was the world's largest clock and a crescent, as heavy as 2 passenger buses, lifted to a height of 600 meters? That too in a place where millions of people are present below at all times. This might be the first and last time in history when an architect who designed a building could never see it up close. The Maca Royal Clock Tower, an engineering marvel. The Maca Royal Clock Tower is one of the tallest buildings in the world, reaching 601 meters in height, an engineering marvel. It is recognized by the world's largest clock on its facade, each side measuring 43 meters in width. The total area of just one side of the clock is 16,000 square feet, equivalent to 35 plots of 500 square yards each. Built at a cost of $16 billion, the Maca Royal Clock Tower remains the most expensive skyscraper ever built. It is the only building in the world where the highest human-occupied floor is inside the crescent at the top. Although it is currently the 4th tallest building in the world, at the time of its construction, it was meant to be the tallest. However, when its 600-meter height was leaked, Dubai increased Burj Khalifa's height to retain its record. The tower is part of the Abraj Al Bayt complex, located just 300 meters from Masjid Al Haram, the world's largest mosque. The controversy of Ajyad Fortress. Before 2002, the site of the Maca Royal Clock Tower was occupied by the Ajyad Fortress, a 1780 Ottoman-era structure built to protect the Kaaba. However, due to the increasing number of pilgrims visiting Makkah, the Saudi government decided to demolish the fortress and build a hotel complex instead. Makkah, as a holy city, attracts millions of Muslims every year for Hajj and Umrah, and religious tourism is Saudi Arabia's second-largest source of revenue, adding $12 billion annually to the national treasury. This has led to Makkah having the most hotel rooms in the world, around 250,000 rooms. In comparison, Dubai has 154,000, and Las Vegas has 151,000 hotel rooms. Changing the original design. Originally, the tower's height was planned to be 450 meters, and its foundation was designed accordingly. However, once 450 meters of the structure was completed, the decision was made to increase it to 600 meters. This posed a major structural risk, as the foundation was not designed to support additional height and weight. Adding to the challenge, King Abdulaziz demanded that the tower not only serve as a minaret, but also feature the world's largest clock, a giant diamond-like structure, and a gold-plated crescent at the top. After re-evaluating the structure, engineers determined that the top 150 meters could weigh no more than 36,000 tons. To achieve this, they had to design a lightweight steel structure that was as strong as concrete. The steel framework was designed to distribute its weight evenly over the concrete tower. Around it, the world's largest clock and the gold-plated crescent were installed, challenges in constructing the world's largest clock. The contract to build the world's largest clock was awarded to the German company Perot, which had 165 years of experience in clockmaking. At 450 meters, building and operating the world's largest clock posed several challenges. The clock hands had to be designed to withstand strong winds. The minute hand is 23 meters long, and the hour hand is 17 meters long, each as tall as a 5-story building. At 600 meters, winds can exceed 200 kilometers per h, which could easily dislodge the hands. Initially, a support ring was considered, but it was discarded due to maintenance concerns. The final solution was to make the clock hands from carbon fiber, a lightweight yet stronger than steel material that does not rust or bend under pressure. To ensure reliability, an extra set of clock hands and an additional backup clock drive were installed. Additionally, a maintenance switch was added, which straightens the hands to allow workers to enter the mechanism. Initially, the clock was going to be black and white, but nighttime visibility tests showed that white LED lights were not effective. After multiple experiments, green LED lights were selected, making the time visible from 8 kilometers away at night. This clock has over 2 million LEDs, specially designed to withstand Macca's extreme heat. It took over a year to manufacture them. Installing the gold-plated crescent. The biggest challenge was installing the crescent at the top, which would complete the tower's 600-meter height. The crescent is 75 feet wide and 75 feet high, made from fiberglass and carbon fiber, yet it still weighs 35 tons. The diamond-like facade and the gold-plated crescent were contracted to Riva GmbH. The top 150 meters of finishing work was assigned to this company. However, Riva's German engineers needed to be physically present in Makkah, but non-Muslims are not allowed entry. To solve this problem, some Riva engineers and even the company's owner converted to Islam to enter Makkah and work on the project. The engineers who chose not to convert stayed in Dubai and assembled parts there before shipping them to Makkah. The crescent was built in separate parts because lifting a single 35-ton piece to 600 meters was impossible due to space and crane limitations. Over 10 million gold-plated mosaic tiles were carefully designed and cut into 2 by 2 centimeters blocks before being attached to the crescent. The entire crescent was assembled in Dubai and then transported to Makkah. The installation process was extremely risky. The crescent was lifted in 4 separate parts, each weighing 4 tons. Strong winds created a pendulum effect, doubling the weight load. When the crescent was mid-air, sudden winds caused it to sway dangerously. Workers had to manually stabilize it with ropes before securing it in place. A historic achievement. The crescent contains 3 floors. 1. An office. 2. A meeting room. 3. A mosque. The highest mosque ever built on a man-made structure. The highest occupied floor in Makkah's clock tower is even higher than the 585-meter highest floor of Burj Khalifa and the 583-meter highest floor of Shanghai Tower. Conclusion. Construction of the Makkah Royal Clock Tower began in 2002 and took 9 years, completing in 2011. At its peak, 20,000 workers were involved in the project. Despite being the architect of this iconic tower, Gunther Nelt could never see the building up close due to Makkah's entry restrictions for non-Muslims. When the tower was completed, he viewed it from a distance before turning back. She said, This remains one of the greatest engineering feats in modern history.